Welcome to Treacherous Path. I'm your host, Old Granddaddy Sam. Yep, as I try to make most days about God, today is definitely going to be about God because I found myself a doozy. Man, did I find a doozy. Now, see, I didn't really find it because God leads me in every direction that I go. So, when I woke up this morning, I forgot to pray. That's usually the first thing I try to do. The moment my eyes open, I want to think of Him. It's harder than it sounds to do that, but it's a great goal. This morning, He led me to the videos first. And the very first video I watched had your message. Isaiah 1, verses 3 through 6 and verses 11 through 14. And let me tell you, this one is about you. In Isaiah, in the Old Testament now, so before Christ, it talks of us and what will happen to us. It describes in the first of Isaiah what happens to nations that go against God and specifically how they're destroyed. And when I read you these comparisons, you're going to understand real fast that he's most likely talking about us. I had to write this down because it's so much. Let me go ahead and clarify now. All of my videos are unedited and from inside of my own mind. Sometimes I write them down because so much is there that with the medicine that I take, it has short-term memory loss literally listed as the number one side effect. I can't remember everything sometimes. I try to because it's good for my brain. But I just couldn't do it today. There was too much. It looks like there's 8 things that Isaiah describes that are what will cause God to destroy a nation. Number 1, greedy, overdeveloped, and materialistic. Houses built together. It literally says that. It lists apartments. Now, I don't know about your town, but in my town, apartments are going up like stink. They're everywhere. In fact, I'm closer to one than you think. But I can tell you that they are not places of sanity. They're people packed on top of each other. When you go out your back window, you're looking at the other person right across the way. You're looking at their family, their wife. All of it's exposed. It's like 2 caves of people with a river running between it. And they can see each other across the way. It's not the way that it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to live in apartments that are so close together. We're supposed to have our own houses with our own land that we can grow our own food and raise our own families. And then those families can mingle and talk about God. Number 2, addicted. Yeah, addicted. They follow intoxicating drink. That's most people. It says here I'm supposed to tell my alcohol story. Maybe for another time. I'm already 5 minutes into this video. Number 3, they lived amused lives away from the Lord, not paying attention. That's number 3. Number 4, no knowledge or ignorance of God. That's most people. Number 5, vanity. God describes it as pulling a cart behind you that's so heavy to pull because it's full of your sins. In other words, your life gets buckled down and you don't even realize it because you're using the alcohol to solve all your problems. Man, have I been here. 6, lying to yourself and others about the truth and God. Pride, basically saying, oh, I've done my research and proven that God doesn't exist. That's horse malarkey. Lying to yourself or others about the truth and God. Pride of self while spreading lies about God. I'm right, you're wrong. Everybody thinks that, right? Wrong. God's right. We're all wrong. That is the truth. Bad heroes, warriors, or famous people who lie and get drunk and control others. Yeah, the people that are so famous and so rich that they think they're better than other people, so they use those evil things to control others. Know anybody that does that? I know hundreds myself, if not thousands. And there's millions if you counted them all. That's a big one. That's our nation right there. We follow our famous people. Think about the kids. And last but not least, the ones who justify the wicked for a bribe. Wow. That one hits home, don't it? People that will tell lies in order to make money. Know anybody that does that? I believe that may be the biggest one in our country. Now, how many of these do I commit? I don't believe any. I don't think I've committed any of these. And that's probably why I'm one of the guys that's sitting here spitting to you about it. I suggest that you take my list or go to Isaiah and read it yourself and apply it to your life. I try more and more every day. But I feel like we're already too far, probably. I mean, we're kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah. And let me tell you something about countries being destroyed, too. I can't single-handedly save this country, and I think there would be some people stand up, but that's not a guarantee. So, if the country was to actually fall, well, all your sins would come to fruition then, wouldn't they? Yeah, as the monsters are ripping you apart. Treacherous path out.